So that was a long break what we had, and today again I brought your literature's drama Merchant of Venice, Act 2, Scene 1. So what happened, basically we had already completed Act 1, Scene 1 to 3, right? So first scene, second scene, 3, there are different scenes which has happened in different places, right? So here Act 2, Scene 1 happens in Belmont, a room in Portia's house, palace, okay, and the attendants as well as Portia and Nerissa. Nerissa is the attendant as well as a very close friend of a very close friend of Portia, with whom she shares everything, okay, and she is that character who is present with Portia from the first beginning till the end of the play. Wherever we see Portia's talking, definitely Nerissa is always present, okay. So she is like a sister to Portia, okay. So as we have already discussed, we had discussed in your last scene, that is scene 2, what happens. Portia talks about different suitors, okay, and there is also a mention of a servant who tells that one of the suitor has also come to try the luck in the casket, right, and to Portia, who is the Prince of Morocco. So we talk about Prince of Morocco here. Mislike me not for my complexion, the shadowy livery of, okay, these lines you will be reading, I will just explain you the lines, right. So what happens, Morocco is telling, though I look black in complexion, but do not mislike me for that. My color doesn't judge my personality, okay. So what happened, I have a dark livery conferred on me with the dazzling sun. The reason of my being dark is because I am situated in such a place where the sun's rays directly falls on me and my people. That's why we become black. That is the reason, okay. So, and to whom I am closely related. Whom I am closely related means their neighbor is the sun there. Understood? So that's why the people out there are very black. Find out the most handsome person born in the northern country where the heat of the sun hardly melts the snow. Now what happens, he says that I can challenge any person in the world, okay, the fairest of the fairest person I can challenge, and challenge in every field, okay. I can show that how brave I am. Though I am black, I can fight with a fair person. I can prove myself in any field, okay. So then, and let us inflict cuts on our respective bodies in proof of our love for you, and show whose blood is redder, the northerns or mine. That means he is so bold, he tells that you can bring any person, okay, in who is in the north, that means the fair one or the black or whatever. So any person you can bring, and then you can cut off the any part of our body and see whose blood is the reddest, okay, and that is just to prove the love for Portia, okay. Let us prove. I agree to it. Who is that I? Morocco, okay. And then he says, let me tell you, lady, my appearance has put to fear my courageous men. I swear by my love that the most estimable maidens of my country have also loved it. And he also tells Portia, that means he is quite boastful, he boasts about himself, okay. So he that means flattering himself. So what he is taking is, there are so many maidens, unmarried girls in my country who are desperately in love with me, okay, desperately in love as well as wants to get married to me, okay, but my love is only and only for you. And then I would not give up this complexion of mine except to win your heart. He said, I am very proud of my color, I am very proud that I am black, but if happens that in case if I need to change my personality or my appearance or whatever, it would only happen when I will when it is for you, okay. That means I will never bow in front of anyone at any cost. It is only because of you that I am I'll be doing out whatever which is beyond for me to do. That means you are very special for me, okay. That means just proving that he really loves Portia. And then Portia speaks, In the matter of selecting a husband, I am not free to be solely guided by the fancy of maiden's eyes. Yeah, Portia is telling she is curbed by her father's will. I have never ever, not for you or for anybody else, even if I am attracted to you, I am not worthy to choose my husband, my own husband. Okay, that is the decision of my father's will. That means through the casket, that will be deciding who will be my husband. So, and then further, the choice of casket on which depends the course of my future life prevents me from choosing a husband of my desire. But if my father is in infinite wisdom that not limited and curtained the scope of my free choice, and if it would have made me obligatory on me that I would only marry the person who would rightly fulfill that test, that would have as good as chance of winning me as my person whom I have seen up till now coming to me for my love. He's saying, okay, anyways, even if the choice falls on me, I think I'll choose the bravest one. For me, the bravest one is whoever chooses the right casket. Okay, I will not be choosing you by your appearance or by your bravery. Okay, I will be choosing you. That means whatever is in my fate, whatever is in my fortune, that will decide who will be my husband. So I have already given up. It is not, the choice doesn't matter. My choice doesn't matter me at all now. It is that whoever goes and wins the real Portia's portrait would be my husband. Okay. And then Morocco again speaks, even for these kind words I am really grateful to you. That means anyhow Portia also is little bit speaking some good lines for Morocco, and he is very happy for it. Okay. Therefore, please lead me to the caskets that I want to try my luck. He is also very much eager. He is excited to get that means he is overconfident. Second, he is over boastful. So many reasons, though he is brave. Okay. Now, lady, I swear by this word with which I killed the king of Persia and Persian prince who had defeated Sultan Suleiman himself in his 3 battles, that in order to win your love, I would stare down the most severe looking man. Now Portia, before he enters the casket, he is going and talking about his bravery. That means what he has done. He had even defeated the Persian king. Okay, Sultan Suleiman. And then he is also taking, and for you lady, for like getting your love, I would have challenged even the severe looking man, the man like Hulk, okay, where you see the appearance and then I cannot fight, you will give up, no? So he is telling I can challenge any person, but only the reason will be for you, okay. And the challenge the bravest man or in any in the earth who would be the you can bring any person, okay, and you will tell go and fight for me. I will go and fight without any word, okay. From the mother bear or cub sucking, and he is also telling I can even put my hands inside a tiger's mouth, okay. And the roaring lion, see, for its prey. That means a roaring lion which is very hungry, I can even go and put my hands inside that. That is like, what to say, flattering, or it's like an oxymoron, whatever. It's not possible, right? It's not possible at all. So he is telling that I can go do anything. I can go behind a mother bear and like cubs sucking her. I can even go and disturb the mother and a child. Even like if I hold the small baby, what happens? The mother will definitely get frowned, right? So it can attack, but I can do that also for you. Okay. Then he is telling, if the strength of the great hero Hercules and his servant Lichas is to be decided by a throw of dice, then it would be possible that Lichas, the weaker of the two, may win by a greater throw of dice. Okay. Now, though he talks about the bravery, but here he talks about the fortune also. Okay, fortune is, he gives an example of a hero Hercules. Okay, and Lichas is a servant. So, what happens? Hercules and Lichas both are playing dice. Okay, see, it doesn't matter that he is a king, he is a master, so he will only win every field. It doesn't matter that. but here what happened in the game of dice, who wins? Lichas wins. Understood? So similarly here also I am very much potential. I have lot of potential and I am worthy to become your husband, though that will not decide. Understood? That will not be deciding that I am very brave, so I will be your husband. Okay. So what will decide is the luck of the casket, whether he is capable of choosing the right casket or not. That would be deciding. Okay. Similarly, my blind chance may also lose you to same person far inferior to me, who may win your hand and then pine away to death with grief. And he's saying, similarly, my case also would do like that. Though I am very much applicable, okay, to get you, but unfortunately I would also lose, right? Because if I choose the wrong casket, then gone. No, that means not getting, and we are not getting second chance too. So what happened in that moment? That would be the most grievous moment for me. I will die with grief. I will die in grief. Okay, because I had lot of potential, still I would not be able to choose you, right? So that would kill me actually. And then Portia is telling, okay, you must decide, either you try to choose at all or swear before you make the choice. Okay, finally you have decided that you will make the choice, so let us go and swear. So that means before that time, no, that swearing was promise was very essential, as well was very serious one also. That means nobody would dare to break that. Okay. So those three conditions, no, those not to marry in lifetime and to risk, hazard everything, and the third one was to leave the place there and then without uttering a word, and also not to reveal what he had chosen. That three conditions, that three oaths were taken in front in the temple. Okay. So fair to choose rightly, you will never afterwards propose marriage to any other woman, therefore take out. So that is already said. Okay, now Morocco's, okay, I accept everything. Okay, I accept everything. So let us go. I'm ready to choose the luck of casket. Portia, okay, first let us go to the church. Your lottery will come after dinner. Okay, first let us go and make the oath, and then we'll have a dinner, and then you can make your choice to the caskets. Morocco, good luck then. The choice of the casket will make me either the happiest or the most miserable man. Yes. So that means the choice of the casket. He also, though I said no, but still in 20% chances he still believes that fortune also. Okay, he's not that no, it is all in my hand. He doesn't believe in that. He believes there is luck, there is fate. Okay, there is fortune. So, and he is telling either okay, fine. We after the casket scene only will be deciding whether I am the most miserable man. Miserable man is when he will not win Portia, and strong man, I mean the happiest man would be when he will win the what? When he will win the hand of Portia. That means by choosing the right casket. Okay, children, this ends with Act 2, Scene 1. So what happens in the further scene we'll be discussing very soon. Okay, that means by tomorrow or day after tomorrow, and then I will also be uploading you some study materials. That means the exercises. Till then, stay focused. Thank you.